Fast forward, only any come our channel so Shannon say has GH Politics Avenue. Political stories are trending because making headlines and the agenda any DB exomo ewa ha ni dem dem braximu and AD can subscribe to the channel. Hit notification bell, share na for front so answer into me income. Say the news be tomorrow and I'll be the first person on side be to me account. Quick one, yemo writing simu. Now maybe a twemo Sam George echo parliament na address how they going and say your media houses be organ house here with immediate effect no what me revoke your lances ama his excellency John Romani Mahama me intervene ama otimi grante 9 media houses na na ka ho asem no amnesty say omfanye omo entotue omo abosom miensa se omo emfa enye lapses bia ewo omo inkrata asem bia omo taxes bibia omo hwe na omo entua emre na so na breaking news ayensa aka ne CCA Efri Sam George asue ho Ministry of Information and Communication na a dead pay say Wontumi radio stations any other radio stations that can hold here menoka say yetimi agi omutumi nkrata omudo operate as radio stations every omunsema ene Wontumi ninsa egu ntia otwa edado a enya asem koto akra onia yensembre yemu ransin mu ne hwene yekọ ene de ba shana so am say ha say GH Politics Avenue
in your way right now. But just before we do that, there's some communication coming through from the National Communications Authority suspending the license of some 6 radio stations. I want to take you through that statement verbatim and what exactly it says. It's dated the 12th of August 2025, and it reads that the National Communications Authority has suspended the operations of 9 radio stations for various infractions, and so the number is 9 radio stations having their licenses suspended. The first 6 failed, refused, and neglected to comply with the regulatory amnesty by taking no action. Consequently, the operations of the following stations have been suspended. Remember that a number of these stations had their licenses suspended. The president stepped in. There was an amnesty. Well, these first 6, which I'm going to name, did not take advantage of that amnesty. That's the communication by the NCA. And they include Don Plus Multimedia Limited, Dreams Ghana Media Limited, Jam Multimedia Limited, Jewel Group Limited, Pandai, Star Community Radio, and Unique Gateway Communication Limited. These 6 did not take advantage of the amnesty as granted by the president. Well, the other 6, according to the statement, were violations, and the stations did not take steps to remedy the breaches during the amnesty period. And amongst many other things, these are the 3: Wontumi Multimedia Company Limited, Accra, that's their frequency 95.9, Wontumi Multimedia Company Limited 101.3 Kumasi, and then Wontumi Multimedia Company Limited 101.3 Takrady. And so all of the 3 Wontumi radio stations as captured in this statement have had their licenses terminated because of violations the NCA says they did not rectify during the amnesty period, and that's the latest by way of details from the National Communications Authority. We'll have the full explanations and all of it when
Akuffo say, first round we need. Now even the second round lose you, and you lost with just like around 23,000 votes in Tiempamo. And no son party from the cancer no. Papa no more than boy, you know. I'm for the challenge trust on Tianya de and Tonoso. Mama San found Akuffo the second time. I do President Akuffo 3 times scored. On the second time, or election no court Supreme Court no court no judges 9 court no assembly so no move 4 and then they agree open any election we win ti asem ni you judges 9 Supreme Court sabre na no ka Professor Tubiga JJCA adinwira ho ahwani okay chachuji kata no ne Philip Addison mo and the many people be any so almost be law o ref
yes me kai pa
and is ni pasa na wo de na kwa even court no 4 of the judges even agrees with him say no, you've won the election, we should go for a rerun no. How do you say so? Again, he's demonstrated and proven with a remarkable track record. Say, "Ampa, what the quite a bit my day, aye." And then never tell time where they obey we. But now I'm comparing that to Professor Dubois. In the case of Professor Dubois, 30 point win or the year, 30.2. Let me confirm. I think 30.29. Remember, the difference was 1.2 million votes. At that time, the party people felt it was so wide. Now compare that to President Akuffo. President Akuffo, no. The first difference, and when I say 23,000 thereabouts. So how will you say now compare to year 2008, Yama fast to 2024. In 2024, Tiasem no, your co-elections in 4.65 million votes, representing 41.61%. And President Mahama 6.32 million votes, representing 56.55%.
4.65 million representing what?
4.65 million representing 41.61%. 41.6.
Okay.
And President Mahama 6.32 million votes, representing 56.55%.
Is the 4.6 million not more than the first attempt of a year Akuffo?
So that will be let me borrow Dr. Bawumia. So that will be a WAP logic, because you also have to look at the number of votes involved, right? The baseline. What is the baseline? If you take the percentage alone, you'll be wrong. Because if we are to go by extension of that logic, then why did you also lose with 1.7 million here? So it's not about the percentages. We are looking at a trend where you compare a predecessor to a predecessor, and that is the trend. President Akuffo from Professor Dubois from 30, President Akuffo to 39, to President Akufo-Addo to 49. Now, when you pick from 49, the trajectory is on an ascending trend. You don't then bring it from 49 to 41. What even makes it more crucial? Even President Akufo-Addo second term. If you want to compare to President Akufo-Addo second term, what you compare to Dr. Bawumia votes, you start about 10%.
But can you still compare the 4.65 million with Bawumia to be more closer to Akufo-Addo's own? Akufo-Addo's first round?
Akufo-Addo's first round. Let me tell you, Akufo-Addo's first round, no. He won with 100,000 votes difference. In Dr. Bawumia's first round, he lost with 1.7 million votes difference. That's the picture. Akufo-Addo's second round, right? So what even brought him into office? The 2020 Krana, I know you're very close a bit compared to Dr. Bawumia Krana. And Akufo-Addo won. The votes difference should be about. Let me get the figures right. But if you recall, the votes difference, okay, so Tiababe 2.1 million votes compared to what Dr. Bawumia recently had. So the principle that I'm laying is this. The input that I'm making is that if you look at Professor Dubois here, the first time, on my 30.29 in 1992, President Akuffo the 30.29 and 39.67 in 96. Including it shows 9.38 percentage point increase and a back from Professor Dubois here the performance. Now Akufo-Addo ebe far call 49.13 in 2008. It also means that 9.46% point increase and what the back President Akufo here but over Dr. Bawumia there now on recorded a decline from the predecessor of 7.52%.
Okay, so let's make this analysis. All these candidates are they've never been vice to a certain government or
that even makes it more crucial. Yes,
good. So all the people were main that you produce here, the party produced to stand. I mean, a competition. This is the first time I'm sure when a running mate, a vice president, wababidi as a leader of the party, wako elections, abba. So why would you give such a person that second chance simply because or your vice to an existing a president who within his time, a lot of issues happened. Economic issues were there. I mean, but you had issues. I mean, social issues were there, economic issues were there, and all that. I mean, facing that reality. Then out of that, a vice president comes out as a presidential candidate for the party. This is the first time ever. Maybe I stand to be corrected. With that huge, figure you mentioned, the 1.7 or so that you say is that that's the difference. So why would you then give that same chance to somebody who is an offshoot of a certain government that came out? Okay, Billy, do man that second chance you need to, prove to all of you that Obitimi I standing the test of time.
Yeah. My reduce the whole argument and conversation on second chance simply for showing up. And yes, only the here say we for so we need primaries. After all, himself, second.
No, because issues are more dealing with the party for them to have this failure. Are you looking at it, the candidate in itself, and I say the conditions around or the circumstances around Niamani CC and Intinema, the fall of that huge number, not the candidate?
Let me be very honest here. There are a lot of factors that will influence the outcome of an election. Mm-hmm. One, even the party. The normal affected party also counts, and even the candidate also counts. I mean, you cannot dismiss and say normal be a affected party now. I mean, certainly it won't affect the candidate and even the entire party.
Sure.
My member one on, for instance, economy. But at the end of the day, who are the handlers of the economy? Can you dissociate Dr. Bawumia from the handlers of the economy? Every BBR a two party in BBR, whether good or bad. Everybody has to co-own it. How do you then separate the party from him when it comes to owning up responsibility and its consequential effect on going for election and its outcome? You can't do that. You can't decouple it because it's not like not attention opportunity you. It's not like say football and the airborne, not attention.
Yeah.
And it be a reserve player. And a while memuna can say, when your mom boy about troka and share there openino yentimi emfa. Be a coach no maybe or more but in this case, in this particular case, say not two players who are more assistant captain. How do you then say assistant captain cannot also be responsible for BB at all party Nibia? So he can also purge himself.
Sure.
What I say?
Sure.
Yes,
but on your ultimate.
I mean, at the end of the day, and the uncle blame Akuffo.
Yes, on a president.
Before time no. Akuffo serve in government. Akuffo etimi win the first round. Sabre Akuffo time there were no issues. What are we talking about? Akuffo time na Akuffo serve. You see, you made a very nice reference and a background about the fact that he was a vice president. The first time you had a vice president.
Yeah.
Does it even not? Should that even not be the main reason why his popularity was so higher? He should have even propelled us into victory.
It's also known that same time now the environment was also not good to propel him to be the avant-garde.
What kind of environment has President Mahama? The time the environment. I'm telling you that the factors apart Ghana for the general Sotuaban is always the same. Why? Because our problems are always the same. Indeed, whether or not we like it, when we talk about factors affecting a party or factors affect, and it will always affect us.
Okay.
But give you about Akuffo, the picture then in 2008. Yes, so his popularity also. But you see, at the end of the day, you cannot suggest to me that candidate does not count. A candidate counts. You cannot suggest to me say candidate does not matter.
No, candidates matter.
Me here am say be a memo bia na ni pe hu me track for the bia na ye hu me say na me tie ni we say ba men kasa mojo gidie kura nkofo kura wo mu kura no it counts.
Yes,
it counts.
No, I agree.
People make decisions based on religion. Aware based on tribal decisions. How we minya on my team of VIP buses a makumako 102 a munentina a bomb pie mansani akono. You think people are not influenced by matters of tribe, matters of religion, matters of credibility, how they see you, your outlook? Do they see you as bold? Do they see you as courageous? Do they see you say one kasa you are standing on your own, you can make firm decisions? So these are all factors that people it influences people in selecting a candidate.
And these are some of the factors that Omar Bobo say, for instance, your candidate is hot-headed. I mean, you're sure so what your candidate, Ken is very hot-headed, or you're divisive. He is a risk. I mean, for the party when they pick. I mean, I've heard all these things. I've heard some of these things happen.
Saturday me dan temper me da be 4 p.m. me obi oni me bia no enim say aside politics and coming on TV or my work life. Yes, me I don't have a very very conservative.
Yeah.
Me dan temper me need be 2 a.m.
Okay.
Me need to na me tell computer and have to research and write this na me try we. Nti me wie 10 a.m. me wie na me call gym. Sunday man sorry.
Okay.
So I spent 8 hours on this.
Okay.
Then somebody uses 15 minutes. Kwa here they are trying to charge GPT. that's the and he just
ChatGPT.
Oh, miracles there no. That ChatGPT response. This is a man wasting my time on him.
Oh, okay.
Secondly, Secondly, I'm saying this so that we have a background that we should be modest. Sabra na minya care spokesperson. Or should be by na me responder. Okay, jam so on capacity na me responder because me a spokesperson to his level. Timi do wana mabe responder. You see the posture and no na affected Dr. Bawumia. The posturing even of his communicators. And then the aid and also or not responded to us.
Do this one for me. One Kofi Ofosun cancer. I'm not sure whether you've seen the message. You know what I'm saying? I guess Kwesi Kwarteng will not attempt Asante Achim North primaries again. It's on Facebook. I say this is an analysis. Certified results for the Asante Achim North primaries as follows. Incumbent Andy Kwame Apia Kubi 226 votes representing 39.79%. Former MP Kojoba Ajima 103 votes representing 18.13. Samuel Kwejo Frimpong was 160, and then Stephen Obeng Saka 67, and then Kwesi Kwarteng was 12 votes representing 2.11%. So then the analysis on also Yohane said then you shouldn't be coming back again because it is huge.
I expected this question. I have two answers to him, very succinct.
Yes.
The first one is that the candidate the northern part of the country where he's from. There are over 30 policies in zero contest election bill. That is one. Secondly, the whole Ghana, all polling stations, Zongo communities, the candidate are not presenting, apart from Winneba Zongo, he lost every Zongo community. So it's by for election. Also a second chance. The candidate coming from the northern part of the country, still we lost there. Again, Tiasemni you, on one candidate presenting out of 16 regions of Ghana, they move 15 regions, we decline in votes. Only Northeast, they appreciate votes about 20,000. I say, the neighbor. Now, me case say, Openi Kofi Ofosun cancer. At the time, not the whole establishment was supporting his candidate. Me krum. I was the only Nipa na me yejuma Bayama me support to Kennedy Japan. Dr. Bawumia winning. He was expecting the establishment to push for me. They obviously push for Omunipa, and the only person I support to Kennedy Japan. I'm just a victim of a support of Kennedy Japan in that election. If they care to know, I'm just a victim. How they manipulatively coerce everybody to shape everybody in line. Oma Kennedy Japan winning. No uncle far Asante Achim North, Asante Achim Central from near Radio Subina. Oma Kennedy Japan winning. No uncle far Asante Achim Central near Radio Subina. You should grow well. Yeah, Brett. Mammy fancy. Second chances, second chances, no. It's like 2028 as my account. So 2028 is not about maybe 2028 is not about second chances.
Okay.
2028 is about courage. 2028 is about credibility. 2028 is about winnability. I don't think it's about Bawumia, but I think Ken has it more than any. No, I don't. It's not. We are smart. It's not really about Bawumia not having it. It's about Ken being taller when it comes to credibility. When it comes to the discipline. Now, Akuffo will be 4 years, but I can't say the candidate. But we need a strong candidate, not a weak one.
All right. But I say, Ora, Kweku, Kwesi Kwarteng the no Edin Komosesiano spokesperson with the campaign for Ken Ejapon the no Edin Komo regards to the second chance bid and as to who should go and who not to go and who come on any DCCano. And then I have someone here I'll say good one Mr. Host, I'm Richard the champion from Eastern Regional. Please, I want to know you are hosting the program or spokesperson for Dr. Bawumia. Okay, you're asking whether I will host a spokesperson for Dr. Bawumia. Oh, for sure. So because one year so we will surely get there. Now, fe ye disan commoning na our hormone to the show and also Ebeba Sisia and Beport. Some can say so pay a fixed deposit Edia ye Juma Osika that honoma won't find your name moment as I said what the ye be.
When some of the team course or channel, so I'm not so Jimmy or had a son so bad and Dumbi Edominion. Yen share na Yensan and Fadi Chinsi and San Insuma.